With Storm 4 being the final installment in the series, people, just like it happens whenever you finish reading your favorite manga, consider to jump into a new series that happens to look just as promising. I'm here to try and help you to decide whether it's worth doing so with Burning Blood. Let's start with the story. Storm 4 is famous for its visuals, epic boss battles, and incredible multitude of characters available to be played as. Knowing that, it's reasonable to ask if you get the same thing from Burning Blood. And, well, the game looks great, but there are no flashy boss fights, and there are a lot of characters in the roster that you'd wish were playable, but they aren't. Not to mention that the whole story mode is just one arc from perspective of 4 characters that can be completed in like 4 hours. And yet, credit needs to be given for little details that stay true to the anime. Characters recognize each other in intros, Sanji can't fight women, Bartolomeo fangasms over straw hats, and Kuma one-shots you if you have no one left in the team. Yeah, this is pretty much a double-edged sword, but is it really a big part of a gameplay? You see, in Naruto you want those little things to transfer from story mode in regular battles. That happens because the gameplay itself is so simplistic that you can play the same way with all 106 characters. In One Piece, they all feel unique and different big time because of those little details. Strong gameplay mechanics probably has to do something with it too, but whatever. What you really need to know is that Burning Blood is not one button masher. It's based on one button masher, but by adding directional strong attack deviations and different form of guard breaks, it turns into a different beast of its own. It's not only flexible in its mechanics, but in its possibilities overall. You can play 1 vs 3, 2 vs 3, 3 vs 3, with supports or without, Logia users, Haki users, all give different options for comboing. And there are even 2 types of combo breakers to even out the insane damage dealt by those combos. Overall, mechanics of this game gave me an impression that the whole game is balanced and unbalanced at the same time. That's where things touch online aspect. Now, I've been playing Storm series for years, like since Storm 2, and I've been playing Burning Blood for a month now, since its Japanese release. The main problems in Storm 4 are clear character imbalance, annoying type of players like runners, spammers, quitters, and glitches. The game-breaking glitches, like sub-banking and this health-restoring glitch that appears out of nowhere sometimes if you're lucky. Plus to that, you can't spectate in endless or tournaments, which makes those modes completely useless. In Burning Blood, things are not very different. I mean, there are spammers, but the spam is easily avoidable because animations are usually quite long to do, and if you have the right character, it is really easy to get around it. But if you have the right character, which leads me to a noticeable unbalance, like you can clearly say that Chopper is way weaker than Mihawk, and that it is way easier for example, Sabo to deal with spammers than Shanks, who can barely get close. Strangely enough, not a lot of players resort to this, mainly because things are getting patched. Like, once Fujitori's spam became really OP, they patched it and now it's easiest thing to deal with. And then the factor of people are trying to pick their strongest in ranked plays too, so when people know that their spam is going to be easily avoided, they don't really resort to it and try to play normally. At least, I rarely encounter people that are annoying in this game. And even if they quit, you still get the win, which is a great plus. Quitalities are in the game. What is really abused though are supports. That's just something to let you know. Picking the right supports, you can do an enormous amount of damage just by doing a special attack of some sort. It is possible to play against another person without supports. In player matches, there are no supports at all, but in ranked, there are supports, and it makes it frustrating because you never know if the guy's using something cheap or not until he does that huge amount of damage. As for glitches, I haven't encountered anything groundbreaking. Like, literally nothing out of the glitchiness part. However, this game has a lot of potential for brokenness, even more than Storm 4. So be aware that whenever you consider to buy this game, you might be buying a future hellish beast of brokenness. Does it worth the risk though? Yeah, I'd say yeah. It just, no matter what kind of a cheap move players will create, it still will be outskilled by people that can do combos, that can get in. And they will be outclassed by people who can do combo breakers right. It's just, it all will be down to the matter of skill. That is something that Storm 4 strives to be. Is it actually better than Storm 4? Hard to say, but it's definitely worth to dive in as your next anime game.